In the headlines, protesters storm FCT minister's office over extension of council chairman's tenure. Police repel bandits' attack on villages in Katsina State. Sokoto State Governor lifts curfew, bans processions. And on the foreign scene, parents, child drown after wave hits coast in France. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. Hundreds of residents of the Abuja Municipal Area Council have shut down the office of Malam Mohammed Bello, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and the FCT Administration Secretariat over the inauguration of the newly elected council chairman and councillors. Chamun Dabeng now reports.
This is the FCT Secretariat, where a group of protesters have gathered to demand the swearing in of a new AMAC chairman. According to the group, Christopher Zakame Kalangu emerged as winner to the February elections. However, the scheduled swearing in, which was supposed to happen today, has been shelved.
As you all know, on February, chairmanship and councillorship elections were conducted, and winners emerged. And after the winners emerged, there was supposed to be a swearing in today. But we woke up at the eve of yesterday to discover a press statement from the Minister of FCT that the swearing in has been cancelled. And we are here to know why the swearing in was cancelled.
I noticed yesterday that the swearing has been cancelled. On what not? On what account? So we want to know, and the swearing must take place today.
I want to plead to the Honorable Chairman to look into this thing that is happening for peace to reign and hand over to my Kalangu and swear him in, so that if there is any case, if they like, they should continue. But today we want the swearing in for peace to, to reign. Thank you.
It is unfair. 2016, we did not fight, we did not argue with anybody. We did not go to court. We hand over the thing for them peacefully. Sometimes he came back for the second time. 2019, we gave him to him with no fight, nothing. Why is it our turn? You are now creating a law that is not even in the constitution. What? What crime has the indigenous person committed in the FCT that you cannot give us our rights? Let it be given to us. It is our right. And I bet you all, the minister, FCT, as it is now, I, Comrade Yakubu Shekolo, I have mobilized roughly 500 of persons with disability. If nothing is being done, I bet you that there will not be movement on Monday for the whole town of Abuja. We are going to block the highway.
The group of protesters are visibly enraged by the turn of events and are determined to get answers. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has secured a court order to detain the embattled Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, for more days. An official of the anti-graft agency, who did not want to be quoted, told Daily Trust that the legal department of the commission secured the order within 24 hours after Idris was arrested in Kano. Although the detective did not state the court where the order was obtained, he explained that they have been relying on the order to keep him in their custody pending the conclusion of their investigation. And the police in Katsina on Thursday repelled 2 terrorist attacks at Dabebayawa and Antankari villages in Batagarawa and Duzuma local government areas of the state. The police also said it neutralized 6 terrorists and recovered 1 AK-47 assault rifle, 110 cows, 242 sheep and goats during the operation. Abdullahi Ahmadi has more.
The police authority in Katsina says the operation followed a distress call that terrorists in their hundreds attacked Dantankari village in Duzuma local government and rustled unspecified number of animals. It also says the area commander Duzuma led a team of police and vigilante to block the terrorists at Mararabarasaya in Matazu local government.
Similarly, on that same date, being the 17th of May. Another distress call was received in the axis of Atagarawa, Dabaybayawa village. It's a farmhouse of one of our retired Inspector General, Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG Lawal Mani. They went to his farm and attacked the security guards in that house and cutted away all the animals.
The police assured that the search teams are combing the nearby bushes to arrest some of the fleeing terrorists.
We succeeded in arresting a member of a notorious syndicate of terrorists. One Tanimu Hashim, 23 years, of Sabangida Kotas, was arrested here in Katsina by a policeman on patrol attached to the office of the area commander Metro, and in the course of investigation he confessed. Now actually he belongs to the camp of one notorious leader of terrorists, Ado Serki.
Similarly, the police command said it has arrested a member of terrorist syndicate who confessed to have participated in several attacks on communities in Katsina State. I was conscripted into this case. They only asked me to follow them, not knowing they are going to steal something from the telecommunications mast in Mashi town. God knows I'm innocent. In another operation, a syndicate of vandals who specialize in stealing telecommunications cables and coils was busted and arrested in Katsina State. The 4 suspects, who are between the ages of 18 to 25, have confessed to vandalizing telecommunications masts in Mashi local government. Meanwhile, 2 suspected car thieves, Aminu Musa and Kabiru Saidu of Ketere village of Kankara local government area, were also arrested for stealing a Honda Civic with registration number ABC 800 SL. I am not a thief. In fact, I have no connection with the stolen car because I was only asked to escort them to Bauchi, which I did. This is all I know. I stole this car in Abuja using a master key. I wanted to sell it and use the money to solve some personal problems. Nemesis caught up with me and I was arrested. The Katsina State Police Command is also investigating Babangida Danjuma, Muhammad Abdurrahman, Nasiru Lawal, Abdullahi B. Muhammad, and one Ibrahim, now at large, who were arrested in possession of vehicle suspected to be stolen. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Meanwhile, Ilyasu Muhammad, a resident of Ring Road in Jos North local government area of Plateau State, has explained how a kidnapper killed his colleague when they stormed his house to kidnap his wife. Trust TV News reports that the incident occurred on Monday night when the family of the victim were asleep.
Hassan, who is currently receiving treatment at the Jos University Teaching Hospital after sustaining gunshot injury, told Daily Trust that when the kidnappers forcefully entered his house, they asked for money. But when they were unsuccessful, they decided to go with the victim's wife. However, the victim fought back as the thought of not being able to see his wife again flooded his mind. The victim said he was so angry at the spate of kidnapping in the state and no one was fighting back. He narrated how he wrestled the 2 kidnappers for about 30 minutes. One of the kidnappers shot at the victim where the bullet went through his mouth. As he fired the second shot, it mistakenly hit one of the kidnappers in the stomach area, killing him instantly. Upon seeing that, the other kidnapper fled into the night, leaving the corpse of his colleague.
This incident happened while I was at home with my family. They just barged in with guns in their hands. They asked me for money, and I told them I don't have any money. So they made attempt to attack and go with my wife and kids. For me to watch and allow that to happen, it's better for me to lose my life. So I decided to fight back. We began to drag. One of them shot me on my hands, which also touched my mouth. He wanted to fire at me again. Then I got lucky and dodged the bullet. So it shot one of his brother. That was how we fought and struggled for almost an hour. Tired of fighting, the one with gun ran away. So I got lucky. Some people came and rushed me to the hospital. I am very grateful for those people.
Nafisa Mohammed, the wife of the victim, explained how the incident occurred. She said it is something that she would live to remember. She said what they went through is traumatizing and this insecurity must come to an end. She said her husband is lucky to be alive.
Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal on Friday lifted a curfew imposed on Sokoto metropolis over the unrest that followed the killing of Deborah Samuel. The governor also banned all forms of procession in the state indefinitely. Samuel, a student of Shehu Shagari College of Education, was lynched by a mob over alleged blasphemy. The police arrested 2 suspects in connection with the killing, but a protest demanding their release soon followed. Meanwhile, Governor of Sokoto State Aminu Tambuwal said the need to restructure and decentralize power at all levels of the Federation cannot be overemphasized. The governor stated this when he met with PDP delegates in Asaba ahead of the party's Congress. Also speaking, the governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, said it's time for the PDP to regain power and correct various issues in the country. The governor of Sokoto, while addressing newsmen, condemned the attack that led to the death of Deborah and debunked reports that security operatives did nothing to save the student from the mob.
Achieved for efficient management and governance of Nigeria so that Nigeria can work for all of us. I also believe in devolution of power and devolving not only more powers but also giving more resources to the states and local governments. I believe for us to achieve lasting peace and arrest the degenerating insecurity situation in the country, we must go to the issue of state police.
There is no doubt that we cannot continue to allow the current APC government to govern this nation, because the people of Nigeria are definitely not satisfied with what has happened. A lot of things have gone wrong. We have loads of challenges as a nation, and collectively, as a party, we must rise up to protect our country. We must rise up to protect the future of our people.
As we speak, one of the DSS agents that really attempted to save her life is in hospital because he had a broken head, and the other one had a broken hand. So they were actually overpowered. So it's not as if she was left on her own, but there was rescue by the DSS, and they were in around where she was locked into a room because they tried to really save her. But unfortunately, they were overpowered. So it's not that the security agencies didn't respond. Maybe they didn't respond adequately, but there was a response. You don't take laws into your own hands. So I believe Sokoto is safe for every citizen of this country and every human being.
And Delta State Commissioner for Information, Charles Anyagu, says security operatives are on red alert to ensure the safety of lives and property in the state. The commissioner stated this at a post-exco briefing at the Government House, Asaba. He urged the agitators to adopt peaceful measures to press home their demands.
We are hopeful that they will be able to ensure that our people go about their businesses legally and lawfully. It is true that some of us believe that the federal government should have been able to handle the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, our brother, much more mature, in such a way that it does not leave what is happening in the southeast. Nobody is happy about what's happening, particularly to the economy of the southeast. And we also plead with our brothers who are asking people to stay at home to take a second look at it, because it does appear that we are inflicting more injury on our people. Security agencies are equal to the task. We trust that they will be able to deal with the issues so that everybody will have the confidence of going about their lawful businesses on day-to-day basis.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. And still to come on the news, building demolition returns to Abuja. This and more after the break. Do stay with us.
Daily, we bring you updates around politics.
People like you who are very young, you have no future. Anybody now who is 30 years, if what is happening to them continues, by the time you are 60, you will have no country.
The DPO of a particular unit does not have to wait until the commissioner tells him what to do within his jurisdiction.
We have political parties on the ground. Some of them have been there for years. But they themselves, in their own sober moments, they know that this country is not what they're expecting to run.
Policy and governance.
Are you saying the NBS is lying?
I'm saying to you very clearly that the NBS has a serious problem with accurate data till today.
The 5th Assembly, as well as the 7th Assembly, their own attempt were unproductive.
Emergence of the Taliban has simply emboldened terror groups globally.
There is a lot of attention with regards to security developments in Nigeria.
On Daily Politics, we interrogate issues, holding the actors to account, bearing in mind all the sides.
We heard that in some places now, people have to go and pay tax, not to the local government, not to the state, but to criminals.
Nobody can come to your house and kidnap you without information.
If this country is bleeding, it is bleeding because we have failed to educate our young.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now look at our top stories. Protesters storm FCT Minister's office over extension of council chairman's tenure. And police repel bandits' attack on villages in Katsina State. Now moving on to other news. Candidate of the Labour Party in the July 16 governorship election in Osun State, Honorable Lasun Yusuf, has raised alarm over threat to his life and his campaign team. He alleged that some political thugs attacked his convoy in Ilobu town and that some hoodlums also attacked his campaign office in Oshogbo, the state capital, and vandalized his billboards. Speaking with Trust TV's Hamid Oyegbade at his campaign office, Yusuf lamented that the use of thugs by politicians is dangerous to democracy. Yusuf, who was the former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, defected to the Labour Party from the All Progressives Congress.
And they physically threatened my life. And I thought it was a child play. Although I made a report, traditionally to some few elders in the town, because the young man and his colleagues that perpetrated that thing were from Ilobu. And I thought it will subside. But today, when they just woke me up with a call that my campaign office had been attacked, and in fact, our billboard destroyed, that is at the point when I now realized that we are probably in for a long call. And so, if you have my life under threat, you have my property under threat, you have my office under threat, then definitely I have to speak out. Because in Nigeria, in the last 20 years, life has been very, very cheap in Nigeria. And I don't want to fall victim of a cheap attack. And so today, the press release is just about my life that is under threat.
And President Muhammadu Buhari has called on the Bauchi state government to entrench the culture of infrastructure maintenance to ensure that citizens benefit maximally from government projects. He stated this in Bauchi while commissioning the upgraded 23.5 billion naira Bauchi Township Water Supply Scheme project supported by the World Bank at Firo Gubi Dam Water Treatment Plant. Adamu Imam filed in this report.
Governor Bala Mohammed had in 2019 flagged of the rehabilitation and expansion of water supply facilities within Bauchi metropolis. President Muhammad Buhari, who was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Gideon Boss Mustafa, says the project is part of the deliberate policy of the present administration to promote a healthier Nigeria through increased access to improved water supply in some selected areas, in some selected states, including Bauchi.
The federal government, under my leadership since 2015, has accorded top priority to policies, programs and projects targeted at promoting good health, well-being and economic development of Nigerian citizens. This objective has been largely driven through investment in infrastructure, harnessing of natural resources, creation of access to services, including basic amenities such as water and basic health care.
Speaking at the event, Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed said Bauchi Metropolis has for a long time suffered scarcity of potable water despite population growth.
Mr. President, my government inherited this third water urban water sector project, a World Bank supported project initiated by your government and my predecessor. The project commenced in 2015 with Bauchi State as one of the selected beneficiary states, a key measure to address the water shortage challenge in Bauchi Metropolis.
The representative of the World Bank country director justified the bank's investment in the project.
State of emergency in the water sector. Water and sanitation are required to improve human capital, to ensure children can go to school, to ensure that children can grow and are not affected by disease, and to create a strong economic workforce.
According to the state government, the multi-billion naira project was designed to ensure affordable and sustainable access to water to consumers within the area. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Demolition exercise of buildings at Trademore Estate at Lugbe, a satellite town in Abuja Municipal Area Council, has begun last Thursday. After deliberations of demolitions of houses built on flood-prone areas, officials of the Estate Development Control of the Federal Capital Development Authority, a joint task force comprising the police and state security services, are taking part in the demolition exercise. Trust TV's Aisha Salihu reports.
In recent times, residents of Trademore Estate in Lugbe area, a suburb within the Federal Capital Territory, have experienced flooding, which has led to loss of lives and property. As you can see behind me, that building there is on the wreck. In reaction to this, Federal Capital Development Control have marked over 90 houses for demolition. And this demolition exercise was scheduled to take place 48 hours after the mark of these particular structures. But now, residents of this estate are appealing through a protest carried out on Tuesday, 17th of May 2022, asking Development Control to look at other alternatives apart from demolition.
The appeal by the members of the Association of Trademore Residents Management to repeal demolition option after a 48 hours prior notice by the Federal Capital Development Authority is not approved, as dozens of houses were demolished last Thursday. A move that has now rendered many traumatized and homeless.
It has been done already, and we don't know whether they're still coming back. It's sad. If you see the way houses were being demolished, imagine parents who have gone to work just to come back and notice that they don't longer have a roof over them. Or children that went to school and see that they are now rendered homeless.
Senior Special Assistant to the FCT Minister, Iharo Atta, maintained that demolition was the only solution to save lives and property, as the estate developer had no building plan approval before constructing the illegal structures on a flood-prone area. However, some official members of the estate do not agree with the demolition as a solution to the flood situation.
I will give them notices. This house, this you see here, we are marked 3 years ago.
3 years ago. They were even marked from their foundation level. Some over 10 years ago, marked 3 years ago. And when we get to the final stage, we give them 48 hours notice. So we're giving them sufficient notice. Even from their foundation, they were marked because there was no building plan approval for these houses here that were built on a floodplain. This is like a dead zone. People die here in flooding.
We can also, work with them in such a way that we, have a fair playing ground. But people discretionally coming into the estate and marking 100 houses for demolition.
The main challenge that we have in Trademore is not in Trademore. It's the water coming into Trademore. Why not find a way of rechanneling the water so that the volume of water coming to Trademore will now be less?
The Federal Capital Territory Development Control says flooding at the estate has become a perennial issue due to buildings of houses on waterways. Non-compliance with safety instructions and early warnings will only worsen matters. Other residents now live in fear, wondering which of the marked buildings will be up for demolition. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now look at the foreign scene where two parents and their child died in western France after a powerful wave swept them out to sea as they were fishing on a dike in Brittany, authorities said on Friday. The 55-year-old father and the 33-year-old mother were pulled out of the water early Thursday evening in the western town of Plogoff with cardiac arrest, but rescuers were unable to resuscitate them. The body of the 12-year-old child was found later. 3 other children of the family, aged 13 to 15, were not on the dike and survived the wave, but were in shock and being treated by psychological services. The weather conditions were not stormy, a spokesman of the maritime officials said. Witnesses immediately called for rescuers who dispatched paramedics and 3 helicopters to search for the victims who lived in the nearby town of Odiel. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. Don't forget, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for joining us.